Okay, so we have Carrie, Hyde, and the little bitch boy runt that I'm gonna be fucking the brains out of later tonight. What? Hi guys, I just want to take a second to thank all my patrons here who have donated to me. No matter how much they've donated to me, it really means a lot to me. And if you guys want, you can check out my Patreon and help support me continue to make yaoi videos. Thanks guys. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Valentyne's Story's Necromancy. In the last episode, nothing much happened. Rave just sort of arrived at... Is this even the capital? I was not paying attention. We arrived at the capital, there are zombies everywhere, and everyone's kind of an asshole to him because it doesn't seem like he can use magic well. But now we have this dashing, pale man coming onto the scene. I wonder if he's a vampire, or a zombie, or whatever they called them. Here, I'll just give him a real rough voice, I think. What's going on here? This moron tried to fool us! That's not true! It came out much more childish than I wanted to. The man looked at me up and down, paying no attention to the guards in front of us, nor what they were saying. Would you happen to be Rave Rabier? Yes. Wow. First time I've been talked to like that. What? How did he talk to you? First time a man's ever talked to me with so much raw sexuality in his voice. I feel like he might just push me down right now. I was sent looking for you. A courier announced you hours ago. I have been sent to find you since you never showed up. Is no music supposed to be playing right now? Because it sounds a little bit eerily silent. And damn, he's fucking pale. Oh my god, look at him. Is he not one of those zombies? Honestly, look at him. I think he might be. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with the music. Is it supposed to be silence? I kind of got lost on my way. What matters is that you eventually got here without injuries. What? Is someone gonna beat my ass in the middle of the capital? What are you suggesting? How bad a place is this? The man walked to the gates and opened them. He gestured for me to follow him, still ignoring the two complaining idiots who stared at me with anger. It's not over, kid. Satisfied, I offered them the brightest smile and gave them my middle finger as a goodbye before crossing the doors of the school. They were just assholes for no reason. What do they even want? Well, wow! I had never seen such a bright interior. The floor was so clean that it could reflect the furniture in the room. It was weird to see such a big empty space. Well, where is everyone? All are hitched to their respective tasks. You'll have to wait a few hours if you want to see the other residents. He motioned for me to follow him again, which I did without hesitation. Although he was at least 2 heads taller than me, with a constantly scowling air, this man had something reassuring. Surely because he was the only person since I arrived in this damn town who didn't look at me wrongly. Rather, he looked at me just the right way with his eyes, like he was undressing me. Glad to have someone to talk to without regretting it, I tried to engage in conversation as we walked down the halls of the academy. What's your name? You surely have a title. Everyone here refers to me as... Eliles? Eliles? Is that how you... Eliles, you can do the same. It's okay if you have trouble pronouncing my name. I have trouble pronouncing it too. It's a real bitch. Okay, Eliles. Are you a teacher here? Is that why you came to get me? I'm not. I'm in charge of the Academy's guard. I can't wait for everyone in the comments to tell me how wrong I said the name. Wow, they sent me the chief of the guard? Thank you. It's great to have taken the trouble to move. You had to have much more important things to do. That's a really weird sentence. I'm starting to feel like the the main language of the person who made this game or wrote this dialogue and stuff wasn't English? I don't know for sure, but I'm starting to feel that way. The man offered me a weak smile. A smile a little sad. I did my job. Wait, I did but my job. We climbed to the first floor until we reached a narrow corridor leading to several doors. Where are we? Your room, Mr. Rabier. I looked at the 3 doors one by one, eyes unable to stop like a crazy windmill. Okay, like calm down. You don't have to... I don't even know what he's saying. Why are you darting your eyes back and forth so fast between them? Don't give yourself a headache. I had a room. It was the good news of the day. It wasn't a dormitory where all the students slept in the same room as the military schools or other members of my family went to. We had a room of our own. Which one is mine? It is up to you to see, Mr. Rabier. So far we have never had more than 6 students per year, so these rooms are planned to accommodate 2 students. The rooms in your promotion are all occupied by one of your classmates. Which one will you choose? Which one you choose will not matter. Only 6 students in the whole school? This must be a very elite academy. Oh. It's still not bad. A double room is better than a dormitory. Besides, if there's just 2 of us, we could probably fool around. So I choose just like that? Can I see the inside before deciding? It is only a room, Mr. Rabier. It's useless to be picky about it. I'll spend 3 years in there. I'd like not to regret it. Eliel sighed. Very well. I may show you the inside of the rooms. Which one would you like to see first? Well, it's not like I could really know what sexy man is going to be behind, you know, which door, but just show me door number 3, Eliels. I'd like to see the room on the right, please. Eliels opened it for me. The room was very special. The bed was buried under several layers of blankets, walls full of nothings, and the carpet on the floor decorated with embroidery that had nothing to do with what was usually seen in our con. Even the colors were a lot warmer and more garnish. There was a stove in one corner of the room, making the room much warmer than the rest of the academy. It's exotic, this room. I think that was exactly what your classmate wanted. Would you like to settle here, Mr. Rabier? Yes, please. No, let me see a room that's a bit less fruity. I'd like to see the others, please. Eliel sighed. As you wish, Mr. Rabier. Which one would you like to see? Okay, let's take a look at the left. The room is very sober and orderly. 1,000 miles from the one I had at my parents'. The bed was perfectly... without any crease. The bed was perfectly? The bed was perfectly made without any crease. The books on the shelf were arranged in alphabetical order, and even my mother would not have been able to fold her clothes as perfectly as those present in this piece. Would you like to take this one, Mr. Rabier? No, let me see the last one. Third Dick's the charm, right? Eliel sighed again. As you wish, Mr. Rabier. Ooh. The room was sumptuous as what I had already seen from the academy. There was so much clothes that many of them were stacked on the empty bed of the room. The resident had even paid the luxury of installing curtains at the window, curtains of much better quality than my own clothes. The cabinet was of carved wood, the Persian rug and certainly silk sheets. Everything breathed luxury and opulence. We're allowed to have so many stuff? You could bring as much as you wanted, of course. Would you like to settle here, Mr. Rabier? Yes, please. It's perfect. There we are. You can leave your bag here. I'll ask for someone to get your bed ready. Thanks, and sorry. I need to be sure. I did as told, and we got out. Wait, she needs to be sure of what? What? What does he need to be sure of? I'm confused. Oh, I needed to be sure, but of what? Yeah, I don't know. It's better not to have to carry this bag everywhere. Follow me, if you please. Where are we going now? Are you giving me a tour? Not right now. You need your uniform, Mr. Rabier. If you keep your current clothes, the staff will end up prattling. I had no idea what prattle meant, but I didn't mention it. I did not want to look like an idiot. Instead, I frowned, somewhat annoyed. Correct Eli so he stops calling me Mr. Rabier. Let him be. At least for once I'm not called peasants. What gets me to shag him? Who knows? Let's correct him. I'm not so interested in him. Eli's, please. Yes, Mr. Rabier. It's about that Mr. Rabier thing. It's strange to hear you call me that. Won't you simply call me Rave? You didn't ask for me to call you Mr. Chief of Guard or Mr. Eli's after all. Eli's looked at me silently for what seemed like an eternity. I must respect the hierarchy, Mr. Rabier. Exactly. I don't know much about it, but I'm sure a little student is much lower in the hierarchy than the head of the guard. Once again, Eli stared at me without saying anything, and then... Let's not waste more time with mundane things, Mr. Rabier. You are late enough already. I guess it means no. Eli's and I went to take my measurements with a man who spent more time complaining than using tools. He even stung me several times, not even apologizing, asserting it was criminal to waste such beautiful fabrics for a slob like me. I should have been annoyed by his remarks, but I was busy looking at my reflection in the mirror next to us. He was right. The stuff he had wrapped me in was beautiful. I almost have trouble recognizing myself. If standing up without moving had not been so painful, I would have stood there watching for hours. After taking all the notes and measurements he needed, the tailor took back the tissues that would become my uniform, and Eli's asked for me to follow him again. Once back on the ground floor, I was taken to a room that I had not yet visited. What now? What do I have to do? This room is for first-year students only to use. This is where you'll have classes most of the time, and where you'll have to introduce yourself to your classmates. I introduce myself? Do I really have to? What should I say? Indeed. That wasn't really an answer. You are not just late on this day, Mr. Rabier. You are late on this year. The classes have started several months ago, and you are boarding only now. You have to do things according to the rules. And the rules involve introducing yourself to your classmates and your teachers. He put one of his hands on the doorknob and waited for my approval to open it. I nodded at him while swallowing. He knocked 3 times and pushed the door open. Like the rest of the academy, the classroom was very bright, even though the day was close to its end. 4 people were present, 3 young men certainly of my age. A slightly older man was standing in front of them, a book in his hand. On hearing us enter, they looked up at us, slightly surprised. The one who seemed to be the teacher looked at me up and down with a small smile. Late and without a uniform. That's a very bad start for this year, young man. There was no reproach in his voice or in his eyes. On the contrary, it looked like he was having fun with the way things were going. I felt Eli's hand pushing slightly back to make me move forward. Intimidated, I managed to take a step forward, but not much more. I wasn't bold enough to get close to the teacher and the other students. What do I do? What do I say? Is it me or is it super hot all of a sudden? I opened my mouth several times to try to say something in front of such an important figure of authority. He was a teacher, Lord! I couldn't even spit 2 words. I was afraid to look silly or say something wrong, or worse, to see him pull out a wooden stick to poke me in the ass with, hit me with, because I couldn't give him the answer he was waiting for. Fortunately, Elias eventually felt pity for me and spoke for me.
My apologies, Mr. Valence. Nothing went the way it should have. Mr. Rabier arrived quite early this morning, but he had to come here all alone and he encountered some difficulties along the way.
Yeah, that's it. I was so panicked that my voice was about an octave higher. The professor's gaze did not leave me, the other students either, but I didn't pay attention to them, and he smiled even more when he heard Elias's explanations. The voice was calm and amused. He spoke directly to me.
And may I know what kind of difficulties you encountered, Mr. Rabier?
I kind of got lost, sir. This sound effect really needs to end. I kind of got lost, sir. I panicked. There was a silence that seemed like an eternity. Then the dark-skinned student burst out laughing, followed by the other two, who at least tried to do so with a little restraint.
That's not exactly the answer I expected, but fine. At least you're honest. However, Mr. Rabier, you should know that courtesy is one of the fundamental laws of this academy. You're talking to a teacher, not your dog.
My apologies, sir. I will not do it anymore.
Glad to hear that.
The teacher turned his attention to the other students while giving a glare to the one who was still laughing.
Oh, look at his glare. Ooh.
The latter wiped a tear from the corner of his eye.
Well, now that Mr. Dejetti has calmed down, we can continue. Thank you for your time, Elias. You can go back to what you're supposed to do.
Elias nodded and left the room without saying a word. Once the door was closed, the professor cleared his throat. He took a handkerchief out of his pocket, removed his monocle, and began to clean it thoroughly in a religious silence. The student with the long hair showed me the free place next to the tan guy and offered me a smile to make me sit there. I sat there as fast as I could, glad I did not have to stand in front of everyone anymore. I felt the pressure on my stomach fly away once I was there. Being next to the other students was much less intimidating. That was certainly what the teacher was waiting for, since he resumed his lecture the second my butt landed on the bench.
I am Mr. Valence, and as you understand, I will be your teacher for the next 3 years. You will get other teachers, but it is my responsibility to teach you how to become a respected mage. If you face any difficulty, you'll turn to me what you want to become. If you face any difficulty, you'll turn to me. What you want to become, you discuss it with me, and if you ever come to disturb the order of the calm of the academy, I will take the necessary disciplinary measures. But I hope that won't be an issue.
Me neither.
These young people by your side will be your classmates for the 3 years to come, and the academy expects you to show them the same respect you'll show the staff. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. That said, gentlemen, dismiss. I won't be able to teach you anything before you ask the question, will I?
The question? What question? Seeing that everyone had gotten up and they heard Mr. Valence give them permission to, I did the same. Immediately, I felt an arm curl around my shoulder and drag me out of the classroom. Wait, no, this is a new voice. When he says dismiss, you don't discuss, you dismiss. Come on, we have to talk. The guy dragged me to the entrance of the academy, followed by the other 2 students. As Elias told me, the room was a little more lively than when I arrived, the classes being finished for everyone, but I was too concerned to notice it. Wait, the class is being finished for everyone? But do you just mean the other 3 students? Because you said they're the only 3 students at this academy. Since leaving the classroom, I kept wondering what these three boys wanted me to do, and my stupid imagination had put so many drama scenarios in my head, I began to feel stomach pain again. My cousin told me about an old custom that was everywhere, and in any trades, a sort of ritual during which the newcomer of the band was forced to ridicule himself to amuse the ancients, and I was sure that was what they were going to do to me. When the tan guy finally let go of me to stand in front of me, my fists were tight, ready to defend myself if they tried anything.
So, Mr. Rabier, before lunch, there's something we'd like to know.
Yes? Move 1 inch, dude, and I end you.
Wait, what? Is he too close to you? Runt? Oh my gosh. If he's a little runt, then we know what voice to give him.
What room did you take? Huh? I expected many things, but not that. Only the long-hair boy seemed to care, and the other 2 students stared at me as if my answer was going to change their lives. I chose the middle room. The fair-haired runt groaned of anger so loud it managed to stifle the laughter of the tan guy. Only Rapunzel remained completely indifferent to this revelation, finding what was happening through the window much more interesting than our conversation. There was no need to be very smart to guess what put them in this state. I had settled in the runt's room, which was far, far from enchanting to him.
Oh, great. Now we're gonna get with the Shota. Ugh, God.
Judging by his expression and his complaining, one might have even thought that I had just ruined his life or murdered a member of his family. I can't believe it. What an idiot. Did you not see that there was my stuff everywhere, even on the other bed? It was a message, and it was very clear. There's no room for anyone else in this room. I thought the owner was not very neat, that's all. Not very neat. Who do you think you're talking to, Hayseed? I'm very orderly, very organized, and much more than you'll ever be. It was a message obviously too subtle for a slob like you. Do you know what the slob's going to do to you?
What? What is he saying about himself?
This slob is gonna pork you later tonight, so you better watch your words, little runt. It was only a threat. I had been taught never to fight someone smaller than me, or to have my way with them sexually, but it made the runt step back.
Please. Oh wait, no. This is someone new. I guess he looks like a quiet type. Please turn the volume down. You'll get us in trouble again. Yeah, besides, you know what they say. Rabier, do not hit the manure, it splashes.
The runt would not have had a different expression if he had been splashed with cold water. He responded with an anthology of insults that even I did not know, and yet it was one of the few things I knew a lot about, drawing attention on us. I was watching the scene a little distraught, then I had to step in. That's all you wanted to know? That's the question Mr. Valence was talking about, the one that prevented him from giving lecture. They immediately stopped their argument and exchanged a look.
Why are you so surprised? We've been told for weeks that one of us will have to share his room with a new student. This new student came and settled, so we want to know which one of us lost the privilege of this single room.
You get distracted for so little.
Surely because there's not much going on in this school.
I was reassured and at the same time a little upset. I had a lot of questions to ask them. Where did they come from? What was their magic? What were their names? And all they were interested in which of them would have to share a room with me? My bad mood must have showed on my face because the boy with long hair approached me.
You're making a funny face. Is something wrong?
It's because this guy is pouting just to ignore him. He'll get over it. am not pouting. I'm in mourning, understood?
No, it has nothing to do with it.
So where's the problem?
Ah, I know. It's because I call you Rabier, isn't it? Excuse me, my dude. Wait, excuse me, dude. It's not that I want to be rude, but we're the same age, so I'll certainly not call you sir, and we do not know your name. Mr. Valence only called you Mr. Rabier every time he talked about you.
His remark made me smile. When a person called someone by their last name without any title of nobility or politeness, it was either because they were close enough to be allowed to do it, or because it was supposed to be insulting. In any case, that was how things worked for the big guys of this world. In my town, on the other hand, we called everyone as we wanted, without anyone being offended for so little. It was for this reason that his rabier had not made me move an inch. I was much more shocked to hear someone treat me like I was important than someone calling me by my last name. I was glad, however, that he was talking about names, so I could introduce myself more naturally than what Mr. Valence had expected of me in class. My name is Rave Rabier. You can call me Rave.
Okay, Rave, I'm Carrie DeJetti. I'm Hyde Fisher.
And you can call me Mr. Leroy.
Is he serious here? Call him that little bitch boy runt.
Okay, so we have Carrie, Hyde, and the little bitch boy runt that I'm gonna be fucking the brains out of later tonight. What?
He doesn't want to get fucked, does he? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But I'm gonna end this episode a little early here, guys. I'm sorry, but if it's a little short, but like, I just realized that the last video I uploaded didn't have sound, and I need to go fix that, and it's all I can think about right now. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time when we plow into this little bitch boy. Bye-bye.